Hello everyone and welcome back to the Weekend Slice and welcome back to the Vanishing of Ethan Carter. I haven't yet figured out what I'm supposed to do. I just have been backtracked to the church, to the house, the one that I think is the Vandergrift house, where I got that audio message of mom asking Ethan, what'd you do? What'd you find out? Nothing. I just opened the room. That's it. If you remember that. And what I don't, well, that's where we got that message. That's where I think the Vandergrift house is. I'm not entirely certain that's the room. That's where the room is, because why would Grandpa, sorry, and Ethan be on the other side of this valley with Travis? I mean, why did he go with Travis over there when there's like that elevator that I can take to go up? That makes no sense, right? I mean, if that elevator was right there, they would have that argument here in this building, they would take the elevator up and just go to the house. So why would they end up on the other side of the valley? Like, that's my question right now. I'm trying to look around here and see if I can find something out. But so far, I haven't found out anything. I have no idea what that opens and closes. Like, no idea. No idea what this thing leads to. Because I can only go here. But then I can't go anywhere else. I can't jump. I'm stumped. But I thought, what the heck? I don't want to look it up online, and what worries me is if I somehow run into the solution, I'm going to activate it and not get it on camera. Which is not what I want to do at all. Worst case scenario, I record this and then edit some part out. Best case scenario, I figure it out quickly enough so I don't have to do that. This is closed. This is closed. This was open at first, so does it do anything? Do I have to go back through the mine? I doubt it. Well, I'm stupid. Missed this thing entirely. Yep. I was supposed to get here all the time. I knew it. That's okay. Backtrack to get that vision, which put things a bit into perspective, I think. Including for those of you watching over there at home. Anything around here?
Ethan was close. I could feel him. A pinprick of light in the darkness. He would know me. He would know why I'd come.
Astonishing graphical presentation for this game. And the guy doing the voice of Prospero is on exactly on point. He gets it so right. The whole world weary yet cool yet sounds like the kind of voice you'd imagine a supernaturally inclined detective would have. And we're back to the ashes. So this is the Vandergriff house then, right? So neither of those were the Vandergriff. Those are just Dale and Chad's houses. Okay. And by the way things look, well, this fire was still going on not that long ago. Whoa.
Then fight it! I have to destroy the room!
Corvus, I'm sorry. Ethan.
Whoa. We go in? Of course we do, but can I get out of here and explore around a little bit? Please? Though I don't think there's anything left to explore. Can only go straight ahead. Oh boy, that doesn't look friendly. Is that Grandpa? So now we know what happened to Grandpa. Okay. Where are the guests? Okay, I'm thinking this is 2. No, this is... Okay. That's definitely 4, but this is... 2... This is 2...
Ethan, I fought it off. It's okay.
Grandpa, get away from me!
Your grandmother Gail is protecting me from it. Ethan, I can help you.
So it ain't like that. Okay, that's 1. Maybe this is just straightforward. 2, 3, and 4.
Ethan, I fought it off. It's okay.
Grandpa, get away from me!
Your grandmother Gail is protecting me from it. Ethan, I can help you.
I found Vandergrift's diary. He said for the sleeper to wake up, someone has to suffer. Look! When I found that room, I didn't wake him up. He's trying to wake up now. Vandergrift kept his victims alive. He made them suffer. That's what the sleeper wants.
We need to get in that room.
I can squeeze through.
Grandpa, no!
Gail, it has to be this way. The sleeper must not wake. Burning the room won't matter, Ethan. The sleeper's inside us now.
Grandpa! Get back!
We all have to die. Even you. Even me.
What the... Can't touch Grandpa over there. Let's see what this does.
Wake up. Well, kid, you stopped it. It was horrible, but you stopped it.
Paul Prospero? Are you really
I'm
here?
sorry, Ethan. I was late. Too late.
You're right. You were too late.
What?
Here. Again. I knew this story. And it was Ethan's as much as it was mine. And it wasn't finished. Not yet.
What?
Ethan, I fought it off. It's okay.
Grandpa, get away from me!
Your grandmother Gail is protecting me from it. Ethan, I can help you.
I found Vandergrift's diary. He said for the sleeper to wake up, someone has to suffer. Look! When I found that room, I didn't wake him up. He's trying to wake up now.
Okay, that I
Vandergrift
get.
kept his victims alive. He made them suffer.
I get that.
That's what the sleeper wants.
Exactly.
We need to get in that room.
I can squeeze through.
Grandpa, no!
This is what I don't get. The sleeper
Gale,
is asleep.
it has to be this way. The sleeper must not wake.
Someone has to suffer for the sleeper to
Burning
wake
the
up.
room won't matter, Ethan.
So basically,
Sleeper's inside us now.
Grandpa!
We all have to die. Even you. Even me.
I don't get this. Like, why would the gasoline be... Who'd pour it? Why? Because right now they're waking up the sleeper by doing this, right? They gave him someone to suffer. And why did Ethan pour the gasoline? That makes no freaking sense. And what the hell does it... This is like a map of everything in the game, right? This is the witch. That's the traps. That's the astronaut. I don't know what that is. I think that's the power plant. That's the houses. That's the mine. A cemetery. Okay. I'm confused. Because I really don't get why Ethan would pour gasoline over here, thus accidentally setting Grandpa on fire. And what is this place with so many beds? These are beds. These look like mattresses. Is this a story about orphans? As I was under a different impression. Yeah. Yeah. That one I didn't get, bottom right. Yeah, well that's the one. Do I have to...
Christ, Ethan, you're in here again? You missed dinner. Mom and Dad are pissed. They've been looking all over the place.
Get out of here, Travis. Leave me alone.
Hey, Ma, he's in here. Honey, be careful with that lamp.
Dale, the hell's wrong with your kid? Painting on walls, writing his stories. I mean, what the fuck?
Ethan! For God's sake. You missed dinner!
I'm sorry. I've been working on a story all day. How long have I been out
The
here?
Adventures of Paul Prospero, supernatural detective. Where do you get this stuff?
Pop, would you get Travis out of here, please?
He draws pictures on walls. What the hell is that?
Chad, shut up.
You got yourself a faggot for a son, Dale.
Travis, let's go. Come on.
Faggot! Ethan, you're a fucking faggot!
Travis, stop it!
Shit! Shit!
Everyone, go! Get out!
Get out! The smoke, it's toxic.
Oh God! What do we do? What do we do?
I wrote about you, but I don't know if I created you.
You made me real.
I can't go yet. I have to finish my story about you. I wrote stories about everyone.
I know you did. But my story's done. And it's a fine story.
I can let go?
You can let go.
What happens then?
Another story, kid. What else?
Oh God. This really was the vanishing of Ethan Carter. Just not in the way anyone would have expected it to go. That was a bit abrupt. Why didn't they just leave the song to go on? Oh boy. That really was the vanishing of Ethan Carter, just in an unexpected way. Like the theory that I had in my mind was that maybe Ethan was in a coma and you're essentially his personality fighting through whatever's ailing him to come back from that coma. Or that you're the fact that you were one of the characters in his mind, that was pretty clear from the beginning, no matter which way the story would have gone. But wow, pretty damn good game, guys. And I'm sort of speechless because I don't know. It's like a really good game that has not overstayed its welcome in terms of duration, that has really cool graphics and kick-ass music, pretty decent voice acting. The guy who does Paul Prospero is top-notch. Some of the other guys are good, but I feel that Grandpa is a bit too flat in his delivery, and I don't know, the other characters just sound a bit too, like, they're playing their parts to perfection. That's a problem. For example, with Mom, you're supposed to feel that she's like this creepy, scary character, but there's no feeling like she ever loved her son. Although, at the end right there, you've seen her desperately trying to put out the fire, but... So it's interesting that the entire game takes place in 4 minutes. The last 4 minutes of Ethan's life. And the game starts when, at 7:00 on the clock next to Ethan's final resting place, and his mind wanders to the entire adventure with Paul Prospero, and at 7:04 he dies, essentially. At least that's what's hinted at in the game. And like, it's the last 4 minutes out of Ethan Carter's life, and he after those 4 minutes is gone. That's what I mean, that this is really the vanishing of Ethan Carter. It is his final moments of existence, his death. He vanishes from start to end. He disappears piece by piece. And he is the sleeper. He must not be awakened. Someone has to suffer. Yeah, I mean, I love the game. What else can I say? I think it's really well handled. There are some parts at the end right there where I thought, you know, maybe they could have done some different things. I don't think the direction was spot on. You know, for the rest of the game, everything was spot on, but for those final few moments, just the ending there needed a bit more work, in my opinion. Needed a bit more polish, and it's not, there's a lack of clarity in what's like communicated, shown. And there's a disconnect from an emotional perspective with the characters, like when Ethan comes out and gets called a faggot, and Uncle Chad is mean to him, and Mom is bitchy, and Dad's the only guy who's really on his side. And that feeds into the characters that you meet in the game, which are after that. You know, his final impressions of his family are based on, and the picture are based on that moment, and the picture that you find in the house of their family is accurate. Grandpa was quiet. Chad was angry, mad. Actually, no, Mom was mad. Chad was mean. Travis was loud. Dad was sad. That, I mean, the art direction and the design of the entire thing is pitch perfect. I just feel that, although in those final moments feed into the rest of the game, a bit more polish would have been needed there to make those characters really pop and stand out and be more than just cliches. And just hit you over, get you over that emotional bump, and it misses being really an emotional ending by a minuscule amount of polish that isn't there in those final moments of that final piece of the story. The puzzles were great. The graphics, like I said, the music, fantastic. The atmosphere is fantastic. The amount of gameplay that is in here is surprising. I mean, there's a lot of things you need to do. Although I do have to say that towards the end, the puzzles, they're just redundant. I mean, the final two chronology establishing puzzles, or whatever you want to call them, murder solving puzzles, they're redundant because it's just, I mean, the way those images seem to be, that's the way they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, and bam, 5 seconds later you're done. I tried hoping that in the final one there with grandpa and the setting on fire. I tried to, change that into I tried to see if that maybe changed and try to add a different order to the chronology than what was obvious, hoping that maybe, but no. I have to say that the final few puzzles are a bit too, in terms of those more, Travis and Dad with the fire axe stuff and the scissors, and Grandpa, and what do I call him, Grandma? I don't know. And Grandpa with the setting on fire thing. The puzzles themselves in those two occasions were a bit too easy. However, the story delivery there at the end, not that great. Otherwise, I really love this game, and I highly recommend it. I recommend... You know what? I would actually recommend that the astronauts, the guys who developed this game, go ahead and develop more Paul Prospero stories. I don't know what context they would find for more Paul Prospero stories, but the character... Here's the question, because at the end even Ethan says, I don't even know if I created you. So maybe Paul Prospero is this sort of guardian angel who makes people's passing into the afterlife easier. Yeah, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, great game. Really, I wouldn't call it a masterpiece. It's nowhere. I don't think it's anywhere near a masterpiece. There's not enough of it here to leave that much of an impact. But it is a really good game. It is a really good adventure game, in my opinion. Although a bit, casual maybe for the hardcore adventure gamers. There's no, inventory puzzles and stuff, but that doesn't really matter to me. In terms of an exploration sort of narrative game in the vein of Gone Home and all of those others, yeah, I think it's the next step in that area. If you think of something like Gone Home, that seems a few steps. It's an older game. It's an older product, of course, and I think it's obvious that Ethan Carter, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, and the team behind it learned from and took ideas and evolved and developed their structure, the game design based on the things that have already been, done by other people. So I think this is the next step in that area. Yeah. I really like this game, and I do not regret purchasing it. To be honest, I had higher hopes for it. I hoped for more game, not better. Be careful here. I'm not saying I wanted better. I just said I wanted more. I mean, the trailer sort of made me think of something like Twin Peaks, where there's like an entire cast of characters, not just this guy, not just Ethan's family, there's the Carter family. Just, maybe an entire cast of characters, like the guy who sells gasoline at the gas station, the clerk at the bank, you know what I mean, and like an entire city to explore. But then thinking about the fact that this was made by 8 people and probably on a very small budget, yeah, definitely recommend this game. Just keep your head straight when you go into it, and you have a lot of fun. It wasn't overly difficult, but it really doesn't hold your hand either. Like just like it says, it doesn't hold your hand. There's like the exploration part of the game is used into the puzzles themselves and into moving along the story and everything. Yeah. I cheated a little bit. I admitted to that. I cheated a little bit by having watched Total Biscuit's stream of this game. I watched Jim Sterling's square play of this game, and watched all the trailers. So some of the stuff at the beginning, like the traps and the astronaut, I had seen before. Otherwise, and so I knew that stuff was there. Otherwise, nothing else. I mean, I just wish, there was more to this game because I really loved it. I wanted to stay into this world and into this atmosphere a lot longer, and I really hope these guys develop a sequel and find a way to bring back Paul Prospero in some other stories. And I hope these guys do make more games like this one, because I feel that in a gaming environment where people are just going crazy over things like Diablo 3, Destiny, Borderlands, Call of Duty, Battlefield. Sometimes you just need a good story and some great atmosphere and the type of game that you can play with a cup of tea in your hand, with the lights turned off, and with your headphones on. And I think that's what The Vanishing of Ethan Carter is. Tesla Affected Tex Murphy Adventures, pretty much that as well. Gone Home is that as well. I highly recommend all three of these. Yeah. Not many negatives, like I said. Maybe the end there needs a little bit more polish, and maybe some of the puzzle mechanics towards the end need to be either, I don't say removed, but do some. I know it's too late now, of course, to change it, but they kind of left it where they seem like they gave up a little bit on some of the mechanics that they started with at first, and then they sort of, let's not complicate it. Let's just get through the story, and those are the only two major negatives. That we had one game-breaking bug, and that was recorded, and you can see it. Otherwise, no. I mean, a few texture bugs here and there, but come on, let's be honest. AAA games like Rage and Battlefield 4 and whatnot launch with major issues. Sim City launched with major issues. What else? And whatever recent MMO you want to pick out of a hat, it launched with server issues. GTA Online was. You get the picture here. I mean, a few texture issues are nothing at all, and one game-breaking bug encountered. Who knows what I did to cause it, and maybe it's sort of like I'm the exception to the rule. I'm not. And that they are, according to their Twitter, actively updating the game, like as we speak. So yeah, highly recommended. I recommend the game, and looking forward to see what the astronauts come up with next as a game. And thinking that these guys made Painkiller, they made Bulletstorm, they made a Gears of War game, and then they made this. I mean, they worked on those games and then they made this. I mean, the genre and category and stylistic differences are just so immense. You have to give it to these guys. I mean, if they can pull off something like Gears of War, and they can pull off something like Bulletstorm, and then they can go from that to this, to The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. Yeah. Hats off. Hats off to these guys. I'm really liking what they did. And I hope you guys did as well. And I hope you guys like the videos. I know I'm not sort of the biggest channel on YouTube, but hey, I'm doing this as a hobby, not for any other particular reason. So, stay close to weekendslice.com. Gonna have a review of this, a video, and maybe a written one later on. stay close to the Twitter feed. We can talk there if you want to send me messages and whatnot. I prefer it on that you do that on Twitter because I have a much easier time getting access to that rather than on YouTube, because I rarely get to see if get back to my computer to check out what messages someone might have left me on YouTube. And subscribe to the channel if you liked this series of videos on the Vanishing of Ethan Carter. I do plan on doing more games like this. It's not going to always be Tomb Raider and Defiance and action games. Although I love those games a lot, I'm always interested in games that are narratively driven. And story in games is like my favorite thing, the most important feature. I plan on getting some new parts for my computer which would allow me to play some more taxing games. Strangely enough, by the way, there was a moment when I played this game in between those videos where I couldn't figure out what to do next. I played this game without recording and it still had the loading issue, so I think it's probably my hard drive. The fact that I'm running it off a different partition than the one I normally run my games from might be what caused the slowdowns here, so I won't add those to the negatives of to the negatives of the game, to the game's negative list of negative points. So, weekendslice.com, Twitter feed, subscribe to the channel please, and keep on watching the videos if you like them. Until the next time, the next adventure game, the next story game, the next video up on the channel, I hope you stay safe. And I really do hope you find something to make your days go by easier and to make your heart and soul grow and spread themselves out to the universe and take in some of the wonderful stuff like the Vanishing of Ethan Carter that is out there. Have a good one, boys and girls and ladies and gents. Until next time, bye.